Once upon a time, a vast kingdom was ruled by a wise and just king. However, the king had no son to succeed him. As he grew older, his concern for the future of his beloved kingdom deepened. He needed a worthy successor, someone not just strong or intelligent, but someone with the most valuable quality of all, a heart filled with genuine love for others. The king sent out a proclamation across the land, inviting every young man to come to the palace for an interview. The only requirement, they must possess immense love for their fellow human beings. The news spread like wildfire, filling young hearts with excitement and hope. From the richest cities to the poorest villages, men prepared for the chance to become the future king. In a small distant village lived a poor but kind-hearted young man. Though he had little to his name, he was known for his hard work and generosity. But he faced one problem. He had no fine clothes suitable for a royal interview. Determined not to miss this chance, the young man worked tirelessly, saving every coin until he could buy proper attire and enough food to sustain him on the long journey to the palace. At last, the day arrived. Dressed in his new clothes and carrying his modest supplies, the young man set off with a heart full of hope. For days he traveled, facing the scorching sun and cold nights. As he neared the palace, he stumbled upon a pitiful sight. An old beggar sitting by the roadside, trembling with cold and hunger. The beggar, barely able to lift his head, extended a frail hand and whispered, "Please, kind sir, I am cold and starving. Help me." The young man felt a deep ache in his heart. Without hesitation, he stripped off his new clothes, the very ones he had worked so hard to afford, and gave them to the beggar. He handed over his food as well, leaving himself with nothing but his worn, tattered old clothes. The beggar's eyes filled with tears. He clutched the clothes and food, blessing the young man over and over. Though he was now ragged and hungry himself, the young man pressed on to the palace. When he finally arrived, the guards were surprised by his shabby appearance. Still, they led him to the great hall. After a brief chance to clean himself up, he was summoned to the throne room. He bowed deeply as the king entered. When he looked up, his breath caught in his throat. He recognized the king's face. It was the beggar he had helped on the road. The young man stood in shock. The king smiled gently and spoke. "Yes, I was the beggar you met on your journey." The young man stammered, "But why? Why would a king disguise himself as a beggar?" The king's voice was steady, filled with warmth and wisdom. "Because I needed to know what was truly in your heart. Had I appeared before you as a king, you might have done anything to impress me. But true kindness, the kind this kingdom needs, is shown when no one is watching. You gave everything you had to a stranger, expecting nothing in return. That is the mark of a great leader." The young man's eyes filled with tears. The king continued, "A ruler must care for all his people, not just those who serve the throne. You proved that you possess the greatest gift of all, a heart full of compassion." The room fell silent. The weight of the moment was profound. The king stepped closer. "Remember this, kindness is more important than wisdom, and recognizing this is the beginning of true wisdom. A king may have wealth and power, but these are meaningless compared to the richness of a compassionate heart." And so, the poor young man, once a nobody from a distant village, became the king's chosen successor. He ruled the kingdom with the same kindness and love that had won him the crown, bringing peace and prosperity to all.